Welcome to LFC Transfer HQ, your ultimate source for all things Liverpool FC transfers. Like and subscribe for more football updates. Today, news is Arne Slot admits he got it wrong with Harvey Elliott after mistake. A bit out of line. After Liverpool's victory over Southampton, Arne Slot made an admission about young midfielder and match winner against Paris Saint-Germain, Harvey Elliott. Arne Slot has admitted that leaving Harvey Elliott out of his starting lineup for Liverpool's 3-1 win over Southampton may have been the wrong decision. As a reward for scoring a last-minute winner in the 1-0 Champions League victory over Paris Saint-Germain, Elliott found himself on the bench against the Saints. After a poor first half where the Merseysiders gifted Will Smallbone a goal on the stroke of half-time, Slot hauled off Curtis Jones and introduced Elliott. The 21-year-old was one of two other players the Dutchman brought on, with the Premier League leaders trailing. The substitution paid off, as Liverpool turned the game around with a goal from Darwin Núñez and a brace of penalties from Mohamed Salah. The result has widened the gap between Liverpool and Arsenal to 16 points. After the match, Slot admitted that, in hindsight, snubbing Elliott may have been an error of judgment. When asked by the Liverpool Echo if it was difficult to leave Elliott out of the starting lineup, Slot said, "It is always a difficult decision not to start Harvey, not to start Wataru Endo, not to start all the other ones. I don't play. But if someone comes in for 5 minutes, touches his first ball and scores a goal, and then you change your whole idea about all the lineups you made before, that would be a bit out of line. A bit weird as well. He got 45 minutes today because he did so well in Paris. But there's also a reason why I played so many times the other ones, and all the time they deserved that trust. But today, if I could do it one more time over, I would have started it differently than I started today. But you don't know this in advance." When asked if there are enough games for Elliott to break into Liverpool's midfield, the Dutchman said, "Yeah, there is enough time. We play 9 more games in the Premier League, and hopefully a few more in the Champions League as well, and 1 more in the League Cup." What it is with him is also with other players. They are in competition with so many good players, and that makes it sometimes difficult to make a lineup. But it always helps to bring in performances like this, for him, but also for Wata. He came in 15 minutes before the end again and showed how important he is for this team and the others as well. On reflection, Slot may have wished that he deployed Elliott over Dominik Szoboszlai. The Hungarian, who played the full 90 minutes against PSG, was brought off at half-time in place of Alexis Mac Allister. Slot admitted the clash against the Saints may have been 45 minutes too much for the ex-RB Leipzig midfielder, and that he had made a mistake. Slot added, "Every time I am sitting here and talking about Dominik, I'm talking about he is a machine. He can keep on going, running and running and running." It was maybe the first time this season I saw a different energy from him, which is maybe normal. Maybe I made a mistake by playing him because he gives so much every single game. The good news is he only played 45 and is more rested for the upcoming week now than he is if I played him for 90. Stay tuned for more updates on LFC Transfer HQ transfer moves, player signings, and latest news. Don't miss subscribe for more Liverpool FC transfer news. Our second news is Jurgen Klopp admits he desperately regrets not signing 2 Premier League superstars. Jurgen Klopp was fortunate to sign plenty of star players over his managerial career, but he admits that there were 2 big names who got away from him, and he's always regretted it. Jurgen Klopp has been recalling missing out on 2 modern-day Premier League superstars during his time in management. The German called time on his managerial career last summer after almost 9 years in charge of Liverpool, having previously coached Mainz and Borussia Dortmund during a 23-year management career. Klopp lifted the Champions League, the Premier League, the FA Cup, 2 League Cups, the Club World Cup, 2 Bundesliga titles and the German Cup during a storied career in the dugout. But at an event in South Africa this week, he admits his regrets over not signing Tottenham captain Son Heung-min and Manchester City star Kevin De Bruyne when he was at Dortmund. "I could have signed Son from Tottenham. At that time he was at Hamburg," said Klopp, speaking at an anniversary event in Cape Town for the Hout Bay United football community. "I don't even remember why the signing didn't happen, and just facing him in the Premier League, I thought, my God, you dumb sock for not signing him. It's crazy. Kevin De Bruyne was that close." Klopp places his fingers around one centimeter apart. "Then he smashed us in the cup final with Wolfsburg, so that was a double minus. Though I don't think it generally makes too much sense to regret stuff, but you did the best probably at the time, so deal with it." Son joined Bayer Leverkusen from Hamburg in 2013, and after 29 goals in 87 games, he would move on to Tottenham, where he is now in his 10th season at the club, having scored 172 goals in 445 appearances to become Spurs' 5th highest scorer of all time. De Bruyne failed to make the grade at Chelsea before joining Wolfsburg in 2013, and he scored in his side's 3-1 win over Klopp'S Dortmund in the German Cup final in 2015. He joined Manchester City a year later and has gone on to win 6 Premier League titles, 2 FA Cups, and the Champions League. Klopp also admitted he missed out on signing Sadio Mane for Dortmund, only to correct his mistake and bring him to Liverpool in 2016. "There's a Dortmund supporter in here, so I have to apologize to him because I didn't sign Sadio Mane for Dortmund," he said at the event. "I could say I was young and naive, but I wasn't that young and naive. I realized it when he came to Liverpool. I thought, oh my God, that's a lot of money for a guy I could have had 3 years ago for much less." Stay tuned for more updates on LFC Transfer HQ transfer moves, player signings, and latest news. Don't miss subscribe for more Liverpool FC transfer news. Our last news, Mike Dean, convinced VAR, made huge error in Liverpool's win over Southampton. Liverpool came from a goal down to beat Southampton 3-1 at Anfield on Saturday to go 16 points clear at the top of the Premier League, but ex-referee Mike Dean spotted an error. Former Premier League referee Mike Dean is convinced officials made a huge error during Liverpool's win over Southampton on Saturday. The Reds came from a goal down to beat the Saints and move 16 points clear at the top of the table with 2 games in hand, prior to Arsenal's trip to Manchester United on Sunday. Will Smallbone had stunned Anfield when he put the Premier League's basement dwellers ahead on the stroke of half-time, with an angry Arne, who was watching on from the stands as he served the second of his 2-match touchline ban, responding by making a triple substitution at the break. The changes would have the desired effect as the Reds roared back to win the game 3-1 thanks to a strike from Darwin Núñez and a pair of Mo Salah penalties, the first of which had been won by Núñez. But ex-Premier League referee Dean thinks Liverpool shouldn't have had to come from behind for the win, and believes Smallbone's goal should have been disallowed by VAR for offside. The Southampton midfielder profited after a mix-up between Virgil van Dijk and Alisson allowed him to gain control of the ball on the corner of the 6-yard box. But replays showed that Matheus Fernandes had nipped in front of Alisson to pinch the ball from the Liverpool goalkeeper. When Fernandes knocked the ball forward, Smallbone appeared to be ahead of him, Alisson and every Liverpool defender, and so he should by rights have been offside. VAR Matt Donoghue didn't spot this, though, And so referee Lewis Smith awarded the goal. Speaking on Sky Sports Soccer Saturday at the time of the goal, Dean had spotted that Smallbone was in an offside position. "I'm just worried about the goal," he said. "They've obviously checked it with VAR, but I've looked at it 3 or 4 times. I'm convinced it is offside." The Southampton player has gone to challenge the keeper. It's touched his foot and gone forward, and Smallbone's left foot seems to be in front of the defender. Unless there was another defender outside that we can't pick up on the TV, but he looks offside in my opinion. Saints' 3-1 defeat leaves them stuck on 9 points, 14 behind 17th-placed Wolves. Thanks for watching. That's all for today's transfer update. But the transfer window never sleeps, and neither do we. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for the latest Liverpool FC transfer news, rumors, and confirmed deals. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss an update, because at LFC Transfer HQ, you'll never walk alone.